Now. Now you hear me, and now I hear myself as well. Hello, welcome in. How's it going? So, is everything working as intended now? Music is kind of low. Okay, there you go. Welcome in, Greg. Welcome in, Jessica. How's it going, everybody? Yeah, Monday, new week. Like it matters to me. Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, I programmed the thing so you have to pay import taxes for emotes. But I can still read it. Something what happened a few days ago. Okay, go on. Wait. Okay. Official declaration by the better off government. I'll turn off the import tax for now. I will turn off the import tax until I have an actual reason to do an import tax. But go on. I saw that message. I see the like deleted messages. Go on. You didn't do anything wrong. It's cool. Feel free to continue the story. So what's the wild thing that happened? Bring Me the Horizon performed the set list and only didn't use playback on songs once. You mean like how he always sings live? You mean the same way as always? It's like I'm pretty sure he doesn't. I know that there's like always has been using playback for years. Are you sure that you're thinking of playback and not the other people in the band also singing? Because I see quite a few Bring Me the Horizon clips on my like Instagram feed and everything, and there's always like accusations of playback, and it's always just some other guy in the band singing. The clean vocals on Shadow Moses have been playback for years. Could be. I'm not gonna straight out tell you that you're wrong. I don't know. I have never seen like evidence for playback there, but yeah, could be. Personally, haven't seen evidence for that. Most of the time, when someone calls it out, it's just another person in the band singing, and it's like very obvious that that's what's going on. But like most of the time, he sings live, as far as I'm aware. Like from what I can tell. Anyways, welcome in. I can send a performance if you want to see. Sure. Go on. I'm interested in that. Do send me that. I did see a very different clip though from Bring Me the Horizon thing. I think from Download Festival or something. When they were performing Doomed. Hellfest a few days ago. Oh, nice. Even timestamped. Which browser have I set up to like not share the music? Let's see. Let's do a quick investigation into this. So, site can't be reached. What do you mean? Oh, because it doubled the YouTube thing for some. Shut up, Cartman. Sorry, I got an ad that has like the same synchro, the same voice as Cartman from South Park has in the German version, and it just triggers me every time I get that ad. So, or that's just live. But wait, let me see if I can find the clip. That's what I'm saying. Okay. But like, what part isn't live then? Because like, what I'm saying is, I haven't seen any clip of them of something that isn't like obviously live of theirs. Hold on. All over is like, I'm pretty sure he shared it. Yeah, it did. It is. That's the thing that I wanted to. What the fuck is my recommendation down there? Okay. So one thing that like happened. What was it? Download? No, Grasspop. When they were singing Doomed. Okay, like you can like see the rain a little bit in the light here. But apparently like right before that fucking line, it started pouring. That's fucking insane. Doomed is Megasus? You think? Nah, I don't think so. Wait, do I remember anything off about Doomed? No. Like, which song am I thinking of where he always like runs around with a camera that is very clearly not? Was that Doomed? No, it was off the same album. Also, let's swap the camera. There is one song where he always like runs around and like, you know, goes up to people in first row while he sings it. And that it's like very clear that he's singing it live because like you can hear the other people also like screaming into the mic and like, was it? Oh yeah, Drown. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. But they are very, very good live. So wait, there was something I wanted to do there. Yeah, but like, yeah, I don't. It could be that they're using. I mean, most artists use like a little bit of backing track at least. I don't know. I haven't like noticed like outrageous amounts during like any Bring Me the Horizon show that I've seen. Like I've seen them 3 times by now. Empire. That song is suspect. Empire does not ring a bell. Huh? Empire. Which song do you mean? Empire. Oh, off of that album. I don't even know that song. I don't. When the fuck did it? Did they play that live recently? I don't know. Could be. I haven't noticed that. Up. Timestamp YouTube link. Thank you very much. Add. Visions from live studio track. Okay. That sounds very live so far. Okay, the scream is a bit weird. The scream is definitely. Whoops. The scream is definitely weird. That's. I'll give you that. It could be. That seems pretty live. Why is it such shit quality though? Just. Okay. That seems pretty normal. The wolves at the door, you mean, is studio. Let me go back. Is that the part that I thought was odd? That thing you mean? Possible. Could be that it's playback. Wait, let me compare. That does seem suspiciously similar. Yeah, could very much be. Could very much be playback. I don't know. Hard to figure out. Oh yeah, let me turn that down again. Yeah, could very much be that that's playback. Yeah, I. What do I want to say about that? I feel like the tiniest little bit of playback is kinda acceptable. Is it? Like if it's mostly them singing live and then like, you know, throwing in like small sections where it's like not possible to sing the entire thing, then like I understand. And like most of the time you could just have someone else in the band sing along then. So it's a weak point. Wait, why is that not showing the other? Huh? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like most of the time, or like more often than not, there's like more backing track accusations than like actual like real. It's just a backing track things. Like quite a lot of the time, it's literally just someone else in the band singing it. That's like out of frame in like vertical video, and like immediately someone is like, "Oh, he's not holding the microphone to his mouth," and then it's just some other guy singing. That happens a lot. Or like also another thing that happens a lot is that you just like underestimate how much like effects on the voice, you know, change things. Like if there's like a lot of reverb, like if from one line to the next they throw on a reverb effect, that is quite an impact, and like that often gets underestimated, and then it's easy to like say, oh, it sounds very different and it sounds very similar to on the album, so it's probably playback. I feel like playback accusations happen typically like too easy. Like it feels like there are more playback accusations than actual playback, but like it's very much something that happens. Like especially like in like K-pop or something, it's just completely normal to like. I think they even have like a switch on the microphone where they can like kind of toggle between singing live and playback and stuff like that. Is something I've heard at some point. Yeah. So it's very much a thing that happens nowadays. That might just be a classic case of like survivorship bias, but I feel like playback has become a little less recently though. I feel like 10 years ago or something, it was like everywhere, and like in rock music nowadays, it's still there, but less. Like I feel like it's become more common to just have someone else in the band sing the parts that you can't. Like for Avenged Sevenfold, I think like shortly after the stage album, their bassist started doing like some of the screams because like M Shadow's voice was kind of going, and like stuff like that. Good. And I guess like the options were like, you know, have the screams from tape, or like get the bassist to learn how to scream. In that case, so yeah, it's always an interesting topic. Also, they have a new single on Friday. Yes, and wait, Friday is the 26th, and Iceland Kills has a new one on the 25th. So like Thursday, new Ice and Kill song that's like in collaboration with Dead by Daylight, and Saturday a new Bring Me the Horizon song, which both of which I'm very much looking forward to. Also, they were teasing that song at Nova Rock when I saw them. Like after the apparently this thing was being previewed backstage at Hellfest, and it's apparently heavy. It wasn't previewed at Nova Rock, but after the entire show was through, then they have like basically credits after the show, and like, you know, a show that says like I survived Bring Me the Horizon, which I tried to take a pic of, but like I was very far away at that point because like I had to go and like get to grab my stuff and go onto the train. But after that, they even teasered very briefly that something called Dehumanized was coming, and I thought that maybe that's the title of the next album, but apparently it's the next single. Someone posted on Reddit who was backstage, and apparently it's a return to form. Ah, it's interesting to hear. Is it odd when I now say that Next Gen is my favorite Bring Me the Horizon album? Like I also quite liked, what's it called? That's the Spirit. Spirit. Yeah, That's the Spirit was the album title as well. Wasn't sure if that's just that one song or if it was the album title as well. Like that's a close second, but I think Next Gen is my favorite album. So like I wouldn't be mad if they just continue as they did. But there are quite some older songs that I like a lot. That said, like the re-release for what's it called? That old album that's like, was it 15 years old? No, it must have been more. Like the one album that they remake or like re-record. A lot of people very hyped about that, but like I don't really care too much about it. I think I've listened to like one song of that album recently and was like, okay. It feels similar to Avenged Sevenfold sounding the seventh trumpet. Like the first album that's very just some teenagers in a basement figuring out how to record stuff. And then like the second album is when they actually have like equipment and the ability to make what they really want to make. That's kind of how that album felt. Well, I didn't listen to the entire album. I only listened to like one track of it. So take all of that with a grain of salt. But yeah. Oh yeah, I should also check if my music is going to YouTube. That's kind of how it's not good. Yeah. So I don't know. I quite like some heavier songs of the older albums. If it's not like complete. Oh what? Dropping things. If it's not like completely a return to Count Your Blessings, right? Count Your Blessing was recorded so badly that when they remade it for its 20th anniversary, they had to completely redo the tracks. Yeah, makes sense. Like they are completely re-record, or like did completely re-record the thing. That's also coming out in like a month or something, right? There's a lot of cool stuff coming out soon. When's that coming out? Coming album. Oh, 17 days. Never mind. Not even a month. July 10th. Damn, that's soon. Showing off snippets of heavy songs for literally 2 years. Yeah. I mean, hasn't there even been... I'm not sure if that where on the like rumor to fact scale this is, but I've heard that basically their next album is also like already done, but they pushed it back because of the Count Your Blessings release. Because apparently, okay, I don't quite remember the reasons. Also, M Shadows is streaming live again. Oh, that's sick. that's good to hear, because I was worried that like his voice is like a goner permanently. Heavy songs have not been on any albums yet, so who knows? Yeah, we will see. I kinda expect them. I mean, I think the new album, or like the next album that's coming, that's like original, also like ties into the story of like Posthuman. So I'm assuming it's musically somewhat similar to Posthuman, like survival horror and next gen. So I wouldn't be mad about that. I quite like those. That's sad. Okay. Clip of M Shadows screaming again. I very much want to see that. I thought there wasn't an ad because it started playing and then the ad hit after a second. Damn it. The bait. So. What do we have here? Sao Paulo, okay. Why did you restart the video? Oh wait, you didn't? No, I didn't. The screen here isn't like way at the beginning. So wait. I don't know. Avenged Sevenfold Live always is a little bit disappointing. I'll elaborate on that in a second. That's nice. Definitely an improvement from when I last have seen them live. Hold on. That's sick. Okay. Definitely an improvement. I last saw them. Was it last year or 2 years? I think 2 years ago. Would have been. Oh, was it more than that ago? Like I saw that at Nova Rock. I don't think it was last year, so it might have even been 2023. 2023 or 2024. Wait, when were they there? Nova Rock 2024 lineup. 2024. In June 2024 is when I last saw them. And like there, yeah, his voice was seeming to be on the more like hurt side of things. Like also, like I'm not a fan of his vocals on the newest album in total. Like I was worried about that, because like M Shadows is like my, I want to say, second favorite singer, like of all of them. Like my favorite singer, definitely Corey Taylor from like Slipknot and Stone Sour, and also like his own projects. Like, oh my god, that guy is just so amazing. But like M Shadows, second place. But like, you know, when his voice works. Late 2024, he started to get better. They played MIA live. Oh, I didn't know they played MIA. That's a deep cut. Damn. That was the Halloween throwback set. Ah, that makes sense. Read the pinned comment. Oh, okay. Ah. To enter Rapture? Wait, that's of Sounding the Seventh Trumpet, isn't it? Holy shit. They played stuff off of Sounding the Seventh Trumpet. Premonitions? Is that also of Sounding the Seventh Trumpet? Oh no, that's of Waking the Fallen. That's a great reference. Damn, there's stuff in here that I don't even remember. Oh, that's also of Waking the Fallen. Damn, that's a set list. I feel like most of these they like never played. If that's the entire set list as well, then holy shit, there's like none of the like big songs on there. Like, okay, there's Unholy Confessions, obviously, but other than that, everything is a deep cut. Like, okay, it's almost only the first two albums. Like, there's MIA and Beast in the Heart of City of Evil. Seize the Day, also City of Evil, Planet in Chains, Burn It Down, also okay, everything is literally the first three albums. There's nothing after the first three albums on here. Damn. It even eat. Wait, where's the high screen? Oh, I don't know MIA that well. Wait, isn't that here somewhere? Is it after the solo? That's an ad. Wait, isn't it somewhere around here? That was it. Okay, nice. And like that's the comment. With Metroid is better than before because he has barely ever before hit those highs in MIA. Yep. Nice to hear that he's like recovering from whatever was going on there. Very nice to hear. Damn, that's a crazy set list. You're on screen that's great as well. Yeah, I imagine. Damn. Yeah. Because like when I heard the newest album, first of all, like okay, I haven't listened to the newest album as much as the previous albums. I think I've only listened to it like 3 or 4 times start to finish. But like it feels very much like his voice was just like giving out, even you know, in a recording studio where he can take as much time as he wants. Even there, it sounds like it's going. So that didn't feel very promising for the future. Apparently, they're doing an anniversary show. At least one is being planned. For which album? Or like, oh wait, band anniversary. No, that is it a 25 year? Wait, when? No, wait, the first album came out before 2000, right? Album sounding no wait 2020 22 22 2002 was Sounding the Seventh Trumpet. That would be 24 years ago, so next year would be 25 for the first album. Or like I guess this year might be like 25 years for the band as a whole. Something like that. Band anniversary. Ah yeah. because like presumably they have existed and done like local shows before they threw out an album. Mm-hmm. The Legend are planning a sounding anniversary. I mean, yeah, it would make sense. 25 is a big anniversary. Like, I don't know, maybe they re-record it or like remaster it or like, you know, kind of cover their own album and make it sound like the way that they now do songwriting. That would be a cool one. Because like I'm a very big Avenged Sevenfold fan, but like I kind of exclude sounding the Seventh Trumpet from there. Because like sounding the Seventh Trumpet is something that I've listened to like once or twice for completion, but it's like not really my taste. And it's like especially not like there are bands that go kind of in that direction that I quite like, but it's not what I listen to Avenged Sevenfold for. Like there's probably other bands that that have songs that are similar to things on Sounding the Seventh Trumpet that I quite like. But like, you know, if I want to hear music like that, then I would go to that other band rather than going to Avenged Sevenfold, if that makes sense. Like Avenged Sevenfold for me is more of a like cinematic theatric thing. Like if you think of The Stage or Nightmare, that's more my kind of vibe. And then also like, you know, just like insane musicality as in like the double guitar stuff and like everything that fucking Sinister Gates does. And also like experimental stuff like from Life is But a Dream. I also quite dig some parts of it. Like Cosmic is a fucking masterpiece. Like that's kind of the vibe that I get from like Avenged Sevenfold. It should be insane because 90% of that album hasn't been played in like 20 years. Yeah. I mean, makes sense considering that Waking the Fallen came out a year later and was like the kind of the breakthrough. Like Unholy Confession is off of that. That thing is like one of their biggest hits. Wait, what's their like 10 most listened songs? Oh, it's not like okay, it is on there, but like way down. Gunslinger is on there on the top 10 on Spotify. I wouldn't have guessed that. Like all of the other 9 completely makes sense, but why is Gunslinger on there? Was that like in a movie or something? That's an odd one. Like The Stage is not on there? Wait, hold up. What? The Stage is not in their like top 10 on Spotify, but Gunslinger is. Okay, The Stage is not even close to being on there. That's like 87 million listens. That's my favorite song, probably. Okay, it's hard to pick a favorite, but like it's between The Stage, Afterlife, Unholy Confession, and something with insane double guitars. And Nightmare. So it's insane that The Stage is just like nowhere near there. And yeah, the ref did the entire thing in one take. Yeah, I heard that story. And like apparently by the end he was getting like kind of, you know, it was getting kind of rough, but at that point he didn't want to ruin it, so it was like, okay, usually we would do another take there, but like we can't ruin that. We can't ruin the story of him doing the entire thing in one take. You know who sounds great live? The Stage is in Bizarro World. What? Who sounds great live? Same fucking ad again. Blackberry Brides. Oh yeah, I've seen them live. I've seen them live this year at Nova Rock. They were like the first band I saw this year at that festival. Because they played like on the first day and at like 5 or something. So just by the time I was done setting up my tent and everything. And another unskippable ad. Let's go. The Stage as a whole is an amazing album that no one actually listens to for some reason. Yes, 100% agree. I think it might be my favorite album. like like my favorite Avenged Sevenfold album. But there's one problem I have with the stage is it feels like it has a bit. There's some fillers in there. Like there's some things that are just amazing. Like mostly, I absolutely love the album, but some songs feel a little filler. Like okay, Stage is amazing, Paradigm is amazing, Sunny Disposition is amazing, Goddamn is very amazing, Creating God, yes. I think Angels was rather on the filler side. Okay, wait, that was that one. I quite enjoy that one as well. Okay. Okay. For a second, I was like, oh, I don't remember that song at all, which would be weird for how often I've listened to that album. But yeah, Simulation, I don't know, doesn't stick out to me. Romance Sky is amazing. Higher. Okay, like it feels like there's like 3 or 4 songs that are amazing, and the rest is good. So it kind of like some songs just get diluted a little bit there. Not sure how else I would describe that, but yeah. Life is But a Dream is really, really good. I haven't like fully given Life is But a Dream a proper chance, I want to say. Only listened to the entire album like 3 or 4 times. Like I really like Cosmic. I really like Nobody. And the rest, like Mattel, I've listened to a couple of times. And the rest I haven't really properly given a listen to, I feel like. I feel like that one needs to. I don't know. I need to listen to it a couple more times to like get used to it, to like figure out what everything's about and everything. So yeah. Anyways, Blackberry Brides. Which song did you send? Like I only know like 3 or 4 songs by Blackberry Brides, but when I saw them live, they were really, really good. Which ones do I know? Heart of Fire, Knife and Pens, and In the End. But like, yeah, they're playing at like fucking afternoon times, so it's weird. Yeah, like they feel like one of those bands that is kind of like punching above the weight. Like they play at 5 p.m., but like pulling a crowd of someone who plays at 7 p.m. Yeah. Just really impossible for them to play most of their old songs live because he physically cannot scream like he did before. Yeah, and he probably shouldn't scream the way that he did before because that's like why his voice was going. Because like that was bad technique. But like I feel like that's just the classic thing that happens to like every metal singer, that at the beginning they just like scream however they figure out themselves how to make that sound, and then that's just a really bad way to do it and hurts them long term. And then at some point they like need to get professional help because it hurt them so much long term, and then they figure out have to like basically restart learning how to scream, and then for a while it sounds bad, and then at some point they figure out how to scream a similar way than they did before, but like without actually hurting themselves. Like Matt Heafy from Trivium, that was the same thing. Like he used to like classic case screamed so that it sounds really good, but like destroyed his voice in the process. And then eventually he like his voice was like properly gone, and then he had to like get a vocal coach and everything, and like relearned it and like sounded super bad. And like he also does Twitch streams and also like streamed some of his concerts there, and I always thought it doesn't sound, it just doesn't sound right, because he was like, using a different screaming technique live. Like in the studio, that was around the time when Sin and the Sentence came out. For that album, he just like screamed the old way, even though it hurt him, because it was like, okay, it's just once on the album. I'll just destroy my voice for the album, and then it's like recorded and it's gonna be there forever and it's fine. And then like for the live shows, he did the like newer healthy technique, and like had to still like figure out how to make it sound good properly. And so like it sounded off, like all the like live stuff that I heard from him. But this year at Nova Rock, I saw them live and he sounded amazing. So by now he must have figured it out. Yeah. Life is But a Dream is more weird than the stage. Yes, very much. Yeah, they just keep like Avenged Sevenfold is one of those bands that just like keep experimenting, and I really like that about them. Like they aren't just like, okay, we have figured out a way how to make good music, let's just make more of that. They are like, okay, we made a banger album, people really like that, let's make a completely different one for the next one. Like Waking the Fallen, the like first successful one, completely different to City of Evil. Like City of Evil was like a concept album somewhat, and like then the White Album, also like very different again. Nightmare, completely different. Well, also like more in the concept album thing. And Hail to the King was a weird album, because like a lot of people say that album sucks, but they have some of the most successful songs on there. Like Hail to the King, literally the most successful song ever on there. Shepherd of Fire, This Means War. But like overall, that's a weird one. And then like the stage is like completely different again, and Life is But a Dream is kind of like take the direction that they went from Nightmare to the stage and like do the same thing again but 10 times over. Yeah. It should be later. The problem is festival have to have bigger acts later. Yeah, that's the thing. Then there's this guy who is 50. Let me guess. Is it Corey Taylor? Is it Corey Taylor that you just sent there? I actually have no idea how old Corey Taylor is. I just realized. And it's someone I've never heard of. Boogaboo during. Wait, no, I have heard of that. Wait, I've heard of that. And do I have that in my playlist or in my I want to listen to that playlist? I have heard of that. I think you have recommended that at some point before. I've definitely heard of that. There it is. Okay, I've heard of the band. I mean, okay. Hold on. While we are on kind of the topic of like, it's insane that they can still scream the same way, even though they're like, having to it for years and years. Iron Maiden. Like, Bruce Dickinson still sounds the same. Like, live 2026. Okay, let's just go live 2025. Hallowed be thy name. Like, okay, Iron Maiden in total is like amazing live. Like, they have like amazing backdrops, and like the entire stage kind of transforms for every song into like whatever scenery they want to take you to. And like, it's the same thing for like every rock singer, that like the older they get, the harder the like high notes become. And at some point they are just like, okay, I can't do that anymore. And just like, tune down the stuff further and further, and then it just sounds bad. or like get some younger person to like sing backup and like take over the high notes. Like for Tenacious D, they like made I think they made their guitarist scream that one high note off of Master Exploder because Jack Black can't do it anymore. But like Iron Maiden, like Bruce is fucking amazing. I don't know how I can still do that. Like I don't know how old he is. Like he's like definitely above 70, right? Okay, it sounds more rough on this recording than it was live, but like it does sound. You're right. It does sound a bit rough, but like it's not like. It's like you barely notice that it's like harder for him nowadays to like still do that, but like he can still do it, and that for like a 3 hour performance, he can still hit all of the notes. They might sound like a little bit off, but he can still hit all of the notes. He is still like screaming start to finish, all in high notes, and that's just amazing. How the hell does he do that? Mm-hmm. And then there's Axel, who sounds like, I don't get that reference, but like, yeah, Axel does not sound good. I don't think I need to even look at that clip to like roughly know what I gotta expect. Axel does not sound good nowadays anymore. I feel like for Axel, just the same thing happened as for all rock singers, where like, he went to the stage where it's like, oh, I need to fix the way I'm screaming. But then he just never did. He just kind of pushed through. It's kind of what I expect. It sounds worse than you think. Okay, you were right. I thought I knew how bad it sounds. It does actually sound worse than I thought. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think we are all worse off for having heard that. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah. For some context, was he just like very sick and didn't cancel for some reason? Because like I can't imagine any. No, that was a good show of the tour. Oh god. Oh no. I saw Guns N' Roses live once. Was it in like 2018, 19 ish? There they were okay. I don't remember if Axl Rose was singing there though. Wait, didn't they? Wait, I don't remember the details. Like I know that Axl Rose was singing for AC/DC for a while, but I think he was also singing for. No, I think he was singing there. Sonic Good until 2020. Okay, yeah. So I called him just in time, I guess. Guess I got lucky there. Yeah. Hmm. But like, there's one of the like surprising. Okay, one of the bands that kind of surprised me. Well, was it really surprising? No, not really. Like one of the bands that I've seen live recently that I barely knew. Like I've heard of them a lot before, and like a lot of people told me I need to listen to them, but I only listened to like the two newest albums, and like the latest one I've listened to like 2 or 3 times was Bad Omens. They were really good live. Like Omens live. Death of Peace of Mind. Let's go for that. Official video. 2024 is a while ago. Hellfest. Okay. Shitty mobile video and the sun is out. No, I can't do that. It needs something that's... Okay, 2024, apparently they didn't do what they do nowadays. Okay, fuck it. Sun is out, but like still. Imagine it was dark now. Like, they have an insane cool light show and everything. And like, don't get me wrong, the music is amazing. And I saw that when they were headline night Nova Rock, so it was dark. Oh my god, fucking Jesus. Ah. And like, you know, also like completely different for each song, the visuals, and like, you know, building like a world for the story and everything. And like, that was just so fucking good. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Yeah. That's what that part should sound like. Is that same song from like Guns N' Roses? Yeah, that sounds normal. Yeah. Okay, so I must have called him just like before his voice went really bad. Oh, interesting. Yeah. But yeah, like Bad Omens were like really, really good live. I definitely need to like check them out more and then see them again. Also, Iceland Kills, but like I knew that they was gonna be good live. Yeah. So one thing, right? When we were at like Avenged Sevenfold, I wanted to like comment on something. Avenged Sevenfold is always disappointing live, and like it's... I don't know who to blame for that. I think it's just like a result of the circumstances, because what happens is just like Avenged Sevenfold, the guitar Synesthegates uses have like a special system so that you can like do the crazy stuff that he does basically. But the thing about these systems is, because of that, they are always out of tune, kinda. Like they're always like a little bit out of tune. They're like never perfectly in tune. And the problem is like that's also like relative to like the other guitars and bass and drums and vocals and everything. Like he is really, really good at compensating for that, but it's still noticeable. And that's like one of the reasons why they always kind of sound a little off live. And so it's like I don't know, it's just disappointing because they're like on albums. Avenged Sevenfold is like one of my favorite, like one of my all-time favorite bands. But like live, they are just like not that good. I still have seen them live twice. Well, they were headlining the festival, so like the choice was between seeing them and like seeing whoever else was playing, which I don't remember who was playing, but I think it was nothing that was of any interest to me anyways. So like between one of my all-time favorite bands and someone I don't really care about, I will usually pick one of my all-time favorite bands, even if I know that they're not that good live. But yeah. What else? And on the other hand, there's like some bands that, you know, you see live for the first time and you're like, okay, beforehand you are like, oh, I really want to see that band live at some point. And after the concert you are like, I really want to see that band again. Like Bring Me the Horizon is one of those. Bring Me the Horizon is so fucking good live. Ice Nine Kills is one of those. Also, for me, TX2 was one of these because at the festival I was at, I was only able to catch them for like 10 minutes because afterwards Breaking Benjamin started and I really wanted to see Breaking Benjamin because Breaking Benjamin is never in Europe. And so when they are in Europe, I feel like I have to watch them. So, All right, there was also something I wanted to able if I see that. Can I? Where is that in the menu? Okay, so one thing that I want to that I'm annoyed at is this fucking banner up here. Because that like automatically switches through the menus. And like every time it does that, I just see that like something moved and it draws my attention to it and it's something completely useless. How the fuck do I disable this? And I read somewhere recently that there is a way to disable that. I don't know where. Identity preview, no. Pop-out chat, no. Your mic is break. Hold on, thank you. Thanks for telling me. Was it just... Hold on. I don't see a clear reason why that would be. Might just be because it was next to like the power line of the LEDs or something. It was nothing that I noticed. It might have just been a loose cable or something. I hope it's better now. Wait, I can check. Power line of the LEDs or something. Okay, that sounds fine. Thank you very much for telling me. So, what did I want to do? Right, figure out how to disable that thing. Shit, I found a Reddit post somewhere that was like complaining about it and someone told, like said how to disable it. Let me see if I can find that. Oh yeah, I saved it. Let's go. uBlock Origin or in 7TV settings. Ah, fuck, I don't have 7TV in that browser. Words, checking off them. Wait, I can disable that completely? Oh, wait, hold on. Community? Wait, monetization? Community? Leaderboards. Easy. Just get rid of that. I guess if there's only one of them, it's at least not switching between stuff. Did it save? I guess breaking up again. Was it the fan? Hold on. I guess if there's only one of them, it's at least not switching between stuff. Did it save? I guess breaking up again. What? I don't notice anything here. Maybe it was just briefly before that. I didn't notice anything there. Is that gone now? Or maybe it's just gone from next time on. Or do I need to disable all of them? All of them are still here. I don't know. We'll see if that at some point changes. Has Twitch stopped being weird? I don't think it will ever do that. But in which instance do you mean in this case? Like what I'm trying to get rid of is this bar at the top here that's just like keeps scrolling between those. Automatically. I think it's no longer broken. Okay, that's good. And I think if I only enable one leaderboard, then at least it's not switching between them. I'm not sure if that immediately takes action or if that happens. Can't get rid of that bar. Yeah, you can with 7TV. But I don't have 7TV installed in either the chat that's like attached to my OBS or the chat that's in Firefox because, or like in my stream manager, because that's not in there. Did you answer my question about Pocket Country? No, I didn't. Hold on. I think I know like 1 or 2 songs of theirs, but like not much. Wait, do I know 1 or 2 songs of theirs? Porcupine Tree. I know Fear of Blank Planet, and that's, oh my god, I can't fucking talk. And that's a really good song, but like that's all I've ever heard of them. Like this one. That's 7.5 minutes? I would not have guessed that. I thought it was like a 4-minute song. But yeah, that's quite good. Don't know anything else about them. It's short for them? Ah, yes. One of those bands. One of the bands that sees, oh, Avenged Sevenfold threw out a 15-minute song. Let's do that for all of them. Look at this song length. 17.5 minutes. Yeah, I think I'm gonna skip that for now. Damn. Yeah, classic. Oh yeah, Muse is also from. Oh, there's so much music coming out this week. I forgot that Muse is also throwing out a new album, and that's coming out on June 26th. So that's Friday, isn't it? Yeah. Thursday, Iceland Kills songs. Friday, Bring Me the Horizon song and Muse album. They have thrown out quite some singles, and I've missed all of them. I have heard Unraveling. Cool. Oh, looking forward to that. Look at this song length. Oh god, is there one that's worse than 17 minutes? $37 minutes. I'm sorry, but that's an album. That doesn't fit on an EP, I think. Wait, hold on. EP, max length. 30 minutes runtime. That song does not fit on an EP. Like on a classical one. On Spotify, obviously, it just matters that it's like 6 tracks or less. Apparently. But like, that thing does not fit on a classical EP. It's so long the band classifies it as an album. I mean, yeah, you would. But like, is there a start and a finish to it? How often does the chorus come up? If there is one. I mean, obviously, for songs like that, classical song structure just isn't a thing. But like, imagine it's just a song with 50 times the chorus. That's just insane. So, oh, who else does such like insanely long songs? Actually, here's some music trivia. What is the first song to be considered proto-thrash metal? Well, like when you say thrash metal, I immediately think of like Metallica, but like that's clearly not the first one. Proto-thrash metal is Judas Priest is probably also not either not earlier than that or like not that much earlier than that. Is it like Helter Skelter by the Beatles or something like that? I mean, the song that's the inspiration for Thrash. Because like Helter Skelter is like one of the earliest stuff that you can like consider like the start of like metal. Like not quite, but like it's kind of like going in that direction. But it's clearly not. Like I know that like there's a lot of discussions on what is the first metal song and stuff like that. And the answer to that is it's hard to classify a first one. But like it's hard to say which one is definitely the first metal album, but it's definitely no longer than Black Sabbath. Like the first Black Sabbath album is the latest first album you could in any way define, because that one is definitely a metal album. So like you can argue that it might be earlier than that, but you can't argue that it's later than that. But like, I'm not sure. What's your guess? There actually is a song that's definitely considered a prototype for thrash metal. Is there anything that's like really old and is kind of a prototype for thrash metal? Like I can't come up with a better guess than Helter Skelter. So, and I assume that's gonna be the solution. Oh, Queen. Queen Stone Cold Crazy live in 74. Okay, so you're okay. I was thinking too much along the lines of like metal as a whole. You forgot one big band. I was thinking way earlier. Okay, that's I see how you can classify it as thrash metal. Yes, definitely. Yeah, that's definitely thrash metal, isn't it? Yeah. Even James Hetfield himself said that it's a prototype. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, I see that. Mm-hmm. Definitely do see that. Oh, that reminds me, there is oh, the Queen were a metal band at that point. Wait, what? What? Oh, hold on. Queen were a metal band at any point. 74. That does very much feel like kind of Black Sabbath like. Like that riff. If you just play me that riff and told me that it's off of some Black Sabbath song that I don't know, then I'll not contest you on that. I never had any connection between Queen and metal. That is really wild, yeah. Damn. I did not expect that. It's not surprising. Yeah. Shit, what was I about to say? Oh, yeah. Now, while we're talking about like the earliest. Okay, that's very much not a thing that makes sense internationally. While we are talking about like the early influence. Oh god, the fucking top bar thing just swapped over. I hate it so much. Can I if I refresh that, does it only show the one and not swap? Nope, it doesn't. I hate it. Yeah. That kind of reminded me that like the earliest German rap song is is like a wild story because there is like one like legendary TV host in Germany that is by now has gotten really old and like everything that comes with it. But like it's a guy that you would never connect to music or like especially rap music, but quite literally he is. It's like a collaboration. I think Rapper's Delight thing. I don't remember the exact story, but like the first like well-known rap song is like features like one of the biggest TV hosts of like probably all time in Germany. And that's just a thing that I found out like way too late. And I was like, that does not make sense at all. And then I listened to it and I was like, oh yeah, there he is. And that just took me by surprise. Yeah, I was just reminded of that because we were talking about like the early influences of like certain genres. Oh god, why is it like that? I hate the top bar so much. Why can't I get rid of that just for me? Everybody else can use 7TV to get rid of it. Just like let me get rid of it somehow. So annoying to like just see something move in my peripheral vision all the time. Yeah. Yeah. But was Helter Skelter not like one of the first songs that you can like consider rock? Or am I thinking of metal? Because I know that like okay, the story between behind Helter Skelter is also like really funny to me because it was like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones were kind of like coexisting and like being big bands at the same time, and like newspapers always being like, oh, the Beatles did that, the Rolling Stones did that, and just following whatever they did and publishing that. And at some point, apparently, like the Rolling Stones, I think it was the Rolling Stones, or am I thinking of something wrong? Am I thinking of someone else? Rolling Stones. In London, 1962. So that would be around the right time. Okay, so probably thinking of the Rolling Stones. And so like the newspapers were always like, writing whatever either band just did. And at some point, they apparently like Rolling Stones released a heavier song, and like the newspapers were like reporting on it. And then one of the Beatles, I think it was Paul, but I don't remember, was like, hey, have you heard this? Like basically came to the rest of the Beatles and was like, hey, they saying like, they rock, can, or like, they made some heavy song. We also need to make one that's even like faster and more extreme and everything. And then they made Helter Skelter, and apparently he didn't even listen to the song from the Rolling Stones, and like he didn't even know which song it was about or anything. He was just like, oh, I've heard that people are talking about this. We need to also do this. And honestly, good decision. 10 out of 10. Do it again. And like that, and through such a weird story, we just got like one of the most iconic rock songs. Like not not most iconic rock songs, but like one of the earliest like rock songs, of the earliest songs that can be classified as rock. Wild. So, so right, I wanted to program stuff. I forgot. Right, I wanted to do some programming today as well. So, as I was saying, a long time ago, I want to like get the import tags on emotes we will temporarily turn that off until I find a reason to actually do that. Because the reason to do that this time was it was funny. And now I'm like, okay, we've done that. We've kind of ran the bit into the ground. If import taxes enabled, then we do that. That would be self.import taxes enabled, and we need to create that variable at the very top here. In the price of evil. False. So, no more import taxes. There you go. I am a gracious leader. There are also some other things that I wanted to program, but I've forgotten about. Right. I remember what I wanted to program. I have no idea where the code is though, or how any of that works. Because a long time ago, I had something on my overlay that I think was actually kind of cool and want to bring back, but I need to like take that from the old overlay and port it over to the new one. And I guess we can do that first. Maybe I'll show you first what I mean if I find where it is. Because it has been a long time since I turned that. Since I swapped that out. Can I find a VOD where that's on? Must have been before that. Must have been. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's two things on here that I no longer use. Let me show you. Can I maximize this now? No, I can't. Why can't I maximize this? No, I can't. Okay. Hello? What's this? So, what I'm talking about. Here. Hello. Why? What? Why are you Why are you buffering? Why are you not playing? There you go. So, what I'm talking about is this thing here. Oh my god, look at that guy. Look at that guy. Yeah, what I'm talking about is this thing here. Can I high quality? Nope. This thing here. We used to have like a square right here of 10 by 10 by 10 pixels that you could draw on by like writing coordinates and colors into chat. And I kind of want to bring that back. Welcome in, Maya. You're actually covering that guy for us. Oh, thank God. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. What is this? Yeah. Good thing the camera is so pixelated for some reason. Yeah. What am I covering? Let me go. What did it look like? Ah, nice. Okay, perfect. Look, but like, yeah. Look at. Wait, why is my camera not disappearing? Ugh, for fuck's sake. I thought I hid my camera, but the camera disappear button doesn't work. Hold on. Let me restart. Waiting for the software. There it is. Look at that guy. Look at him. What the fuck is that? Yeah, but like that's that thing up here is what I want to bring back. Yeah. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll make it like toggleable. So like you have one channel point redeem to toggle the thing on, and then another channel point redeem for placing squares. I think that's the way we want to go there. There was also a tangent counter. That sounds awful. Yes, there was. And the funny thing is, I always forgot to like press the hotkey to add another tangent. So like the counter was always inaccurate. It was always underrepresenting. There was also a counter for how often I burned my mouth on tea. Because that happens all of the time. Yeah, wild times. So, okay, step 1 would be finding where the hell the code for that is. Because I'm not writing that from the ground up, considering that we have code for this. Programming, streaming, programs, scripts, overlay. Alert system, last grid. Okay, sounds like it would be somewhere here. This is the superior database.txt. Okay. Public. Newscript.js. It's gotta be somewhere in here. Script.js. Newscripts.js. Which one is it? I think it was scripts.js. I don't think I've ever seen your fringe fluffy like that before. Yeah, wild times. I mean, wait, when was this? Wait, did I close the window? I did. That must have been sometime around last year's TwitchCon, no? 16th of March 2025, so like 2 months before last year's TwitchCon. So I probably looked something like that around TwitchCon last year. What was my last stream before TwitchCon, or like first stream after TwitchCon last year? Hold up. This one. And there's also a TwitchCon stream, and then one a couple of days later. Why are you going to video details rather than that? Hold on. We are doing archaeology. Oh. Right. Okay. So this was the last stream before TwitchCon. Oh, okay. That was actually a fun idea. So, okay. Story time before I play this. Last year, shortly before TwitchCon, I had a couple good streams that put me just above the, or like, that didn't quite yet put me just above the free viewer average that you needed back then for affiliate. Because while that stream was happening, I was not affiliate yet. I was like just below the free viewer average, but I had a couple of good streams, and before that I had a couple of streams that literally 0 people were watching. So, you know, I knew that if I stopped streaming before TwitchCon, then those would fall out of the 1 month cycle, and it would put me above the free viewer threshold. And like I even had like a couple of hours streaming to 0 people as a buffer in there. So the idea I had was, I basically said I will stream for as long as the average stays above free, or like that. I kind of like back calculated like how long do I have to stream to 0 people to fall under the free viewer average, and said, okay, I will, you know, cut the stream before that happens. So like assuming I'm streaming to 0 people, stream ends if we are like at less than 3 viewers. If that makes sense. So I think that wasn't even the only time. I think I've done more than one of those. That was, yeah, that was that. Do I not have the VOD of that up? Wait. Hold on. Is YouTube incomplete? Because I think I've done more than one of these. Or did I only call the second one a different thing? Hold up. Let me check the archives. We're doing a little bit of stream archaeology again. But that was 25th of May 2025. I have 19th of May and I have 5th of June. Do I not even have a recording of that one? Huh? That does not make sense. How do I not have a recording of, like a local record? I was thinking that I have a local recording that isn't on YouTube, but it seems to be the other way around. Oh. Ah, I see. I think I see what's happening. I think I did I not simultaneously stream to both platforms there and did just like upload the VOD later on? I have done that a couple of times where, like, if for some technical reason I wasn't able to stream to both at the same time, then I will have just streamed to Twitch and then later on taken the recording and send it through OBS again so it goes to YouTube. And that is the same VOD of the crash. Okay, so here's the local one of the same VOD. Yeah, I was just playing League. I had a thingy here, and let's get started.
Yeah, should we randomize?
Oh my god, that is Stachi. I would say. Yeah, we were just playing League, and I had a no idea 30-minute countdown timer that just like automatically counted down whenever I was below 3 viewers. I still think that it is an amazing idea for a concept, and I would like to do it again, but like, you know, differently. Like I've done that a second time, maybe even a third time. I don't remember if I've done it 2 or 3 times, but basically what I did for the second time is just call it a viewathon. So like kind of like a subathon, but like instead of I did the good old yoink and twist, so it doesn't make sense anymore. The good old yoink and twist is taking a pre-existing idea and then steal it and put a bit of a spin on it so that it's yours. What I like to do is I take a pre-existing idea and I remove the thing that makes it work. For example, the viewathon, you take the subathon, and for a subathon you have like the incentives in the different directions. You as the streamer have the incentive of I want to stop streaming, but if I continue streaming, at least I get money. That's like the trade-off here. So I took away the part where I get money and just said, I want to stop streaming, but, you know, as long as enough people are watching, then I will continue. So I kind of swapped out the part where I get anything for it for like just people watching. Yeah. So like the idea was it starts out as long as 0 people are watching, the countdown doesn't go down. And then like that goes up, and then like, you know, 1 person needs to watch, 2 people need to watch, and so on. And yeah, you get paid in exposure. Yep. Yeah, and like I still think that is an amazing idea, but the problem about that is that the Twitch API doesn't give you real-time like viewer data, and it's not even like consistently not real-time. It's like sometimes it updates after 5 minutes, sometimes it takes 10 minutes, sometimes it takes 15 minutes, and it also doesn't tell you when it updates. So it's like you start the timer, and then 5 minutes later you check again if you are below the threshold or not. So, if you're then above the threshold, then you could go and say, okay, let's refund those last 5 minutes because presumably someone joined in there. And yeah, it doesn't work because you can't say, okay, you don't know if it did update. If you have 3 viewers beforehand and then 3 viewers afterwards, you don't know if in the meantime it has been 4 or 2 or like if it has been updated. Like if you have 3 viewers for 30 minutes, you don't know when the last update was. The last update could have been at any point since it has been changed to 3. Like you only notice that there was an update if the number is different than the last time. And something I even tested was if I go to check the numbers for a bigger streamer where the number will change at every update, maybe it will be a consistent time and maybe it happens at the same time for all of the streamers. And therefore, if the viewer number changes for a different streamer, then it will also be an update for me. But that was also not true. So that just didn't work. Yeah. Anyways, let me catch up with chat. So the stats don't get back down and you keep streaming if you get above 3. Yeah. Young sounds crazy. Yes. So yeah, the point of this stream was basically I knew that I had I could stream for like an hour or something to absolutely nobody, and would still once those bad streams fall out of the time frame, I would still be at a 3 viewer average just in time for TwitchCon. And I didn't want to ruin that. So if I wouldn't stream, then I would get affiliate in time for TwitchCon. And if I would stream to 0 people, then I wouldn't. So I was like, okay, let's find a middle ground. I will keep streaming as long as 3 people are watching me to keep the numbers up. Yeah, and so that's what I did. And it was, but to keep some buffer between my calculation and Twitch's calculation in case something, rounding and stuff. I was like, okay, it should be more than an hour or something that it's safe, but let's put a 30-minute timer. And also if one person was watching, then it's also not ruining it as much as if I have got 0 viewers. So there were some inbuilt buffers, but basically I said, okay, 30-minute timer.
And forever. Very bad way.
Hey, thanks. Hey, thanks again for the follow, Panics. Amazing timing. Amazing that I just skip right into a follow message. Yeah. And that stream took a little over an hour in the end. Yeah. How did I get on this tangent? Yeah. Inspiration, smart. I've always wondered about that. That was quite a bit ago, that message. What was the message? Yeah, I've always wondered about that. What was that referring to? Currently, there's an extension that shows you real views, but even that I'm skeptical of. Yeah, probably not. Streamer color part 3. I assume something along the lines of viewer number. Yeah, the viewer number just updates irregularly and minutes between it. I think the lowest update frequency was 3 minutes that I saw, or something like that, and the highest was above 10 minutes. I did some experimentation there. Maybe they changed the API since then, but yeah. I hate it. Why can't I drag this around? Yeah. Back then it used to be like that. I should check if the API changed since then, and I can do it again. Because I did a second time where I did it properly with the increasing threshold. I'm down to do that again. And considering that currently I have 6 viewers rather than 0 to 2, that could also work better this time around. If it did. But yeah. How did you get on this tangent? Right. The thing. Right, we were talking about my hair. I forgot. Yeah, that's like the last stream before TwitchCon, and that's at TwitchCon last year. Where I was wearing my glasses that I never wear because they barely do anything. I can't really buy anything without like having a problem. Yeah. Where was I going with this? Great angle. Like that's like 90% of that stream is from this angle. Amazing. Very, very nice. Past projects, pixel art, hair, TwitchCon 25, watchathon. Right, exactly that. Yeah, and then that's the first stream back. I still haven't finished this project. I have started this project. Oh god. So there was this project idea that I had that I still want to do. Do you have lenses now or just wing it? I just wing it because it's like what I have is like in the distance I see a little bit blurry, but it's like 0.5. Like literally when the optician like told me, he was like, okay, it's 0.5, you can get glasses or not, it's up to you. Like here I have this paper so you can get the right glasses if you want them. You don't need to worry about it. And yeah, I just never wear them. Because the thing is also, things might look a little bit blurry, but I can still make out what it says, is the thing. Like I feel like I'm better at making out what things in the distance say than most other people who are wearing their glasses or who don't need glasses. Like I might see it a little blurry, but I can still make out what it says. For example, I have like I've had like multiple like experiences where someone was like, "Oh, what does that sign say?" And I just like read it off, and they are like, "How the fuck can you read that?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" So it was kind of weird when the doctor was like, "Oh yeah, you kind of like you a little bit need glasses," and I was like, "What do you mean?" I do notice a difference when I have like the glasses on. Like it's not as blurry. I can see things better, but like I feel like the usable distance of my sight doesn't really change. So I just never bother. Yeah. But this project, I remember. Oh god, that was that old overlay that I had. Yeah, I still think that was kind of a cool idea. Anyways, so but like it's just like not practical. Like if you were watching my stream, that's what you saw. Like rather than what's going on right now, you just saw that. Like you saw what I saw on a monitor. It's kind of similar to what we've going on right now, but like instead of having like a 2D screen with like the monitor, nope, the monitor here. Rather than that, I built like a thing in Godot that streamed in the monitor, like what I saw on my monitor, plus the overlay onto like a 3D modeled monitor in Blender. Or like, yeah, I modeled the monitor in Blender. Like I tried to kind of like model my monitor in front of me, and then like a tablet kind of thing for my webcam. I still think that's a cool idea, but it's like a gimmick, and then like my cam is like really small and you can't make out anything on the monitor. Because like that's also small, and then from like I also like already use basically what I have here right now. Like I kind of did I not like even make an animation that's like flying into the like monitor? Trevor in Europe. I might have not made that at that point yet. I think I just swapped. Yeah, I just swapped. But like I even made it so that if I want to swap scenes, it like flies into the monitor to like then show like the monitor full screen. Interesting concept. I don't know. Maybe at some point, but it felt unpractical. yeah, everything is just so much smaller and so harder to see. And also, like, it used a lot of resources on my PC, which, like, basically this is the reason why I have a separate streaming PC. Because what I also did at some point, I made it like not just like my monitor and my cam, but like multiple different things around it. Like mostly, like the most useful case that I've used it for was Steal This Stream episode 3. And that's not particularly a useful case either. So what I did for that, hold on, let me pull it up. I made like an arena that I 3D modeled, and once we were like in game, like, oh what? Hold on. Wait, I'm wearing the same shirt that I wore yesterday. Yeah, like I had this going on. Like each of us had their own corner, and then the middle is just like my screen. That's not well thought out because you can see like my script and like the controls and everything. And why did I show that? And then like there's the scoreboard up there. And that the way that worked was because I wanted each of the cams to be like full. I think I couldn't make it 1080p because that would have been too much, but for like the way I streamed it into the thing. But 720p for each of the cameras was possible, and then I had 8 different screens. Like I had 4 for the cameras, 4 for or like 3 cameras, 3 screens, and then scoreboard, and I think one was like an optional 4th camera. It was like one of the things we had a 4th person in there. So yeah, it like kind of zoomed into me. Then I introduced the guests. Oh god. And then we also had that corner with all of the cams. And then for the games, it zoomed into. Did I just swap into the other scene rather than using the cool thing? Yeah, I just swapped into the thing. Okay, I didn't have a thing for that. Yeah. But then I also had a thing. Did I not use that? Yeah. Like I also had like animations, which was just like the camera in the 3D scene just flying to one of the screens to show things. Did I not? I didn't show the animation, the cool one. I just swapped scenes in OBS. Damn it. Did I at least use it at some point? After Trackmania? No, I just used the scoreboard. Damn it. Yeah, but like that's like the coolest thing I did with that ever. And then after that, I think I did use it for like 1 or 2 streams, and also like expanded it to like more screens being thrown in there, but like there was no real use case for it. So eventually I just completely abandoned the idea. Yeah, I don't know. I still think it's a cool concept. Maybe at some point I'll reuse that, and if I find a reason for it. Because the way I initially did it, I used Godot instead of Unity, and that only worked with like quite some workarounds. Because I had to write a Python script that sends messages via UDP, and then a Godot thing that someone built that collects the UDP messages, and then it was like very laggy and used a lot of performance. It was like 20 FPS maybe at best, and like less than 720p, and not good. That didn't work, and then eventually like this was already in Unity. And the way I did that was I put the 8 screens, like I had 2 OBS instances, and like one was for streaming, and then there was another one that had a screen that was 720 times 2 times 1280 times 4. So like basically just 8 720 screens in a like 2x4 grid, and used OBS virtual camera for that to throw it into Unity and then slice it up into 8 pieces and throw it onto all of the separate screens. That was really a fun project, but really useless. Yeah. And that's the thing that I wanted to that's the thing that I wanted to reuse from that. That's a whole separate project actually. But yeah, that drawing on screen thing I want to reuse. Wait, here, this, or someone drew a Minecraft torch. Because we had some cool drawings about with that, but the thing about that was always like once every like 10 streams or something, someone uses that, and then the same picture just stays up for 10 streams. So what I want to do is kind of make it toggleable. So each stream you have to like first spend 1 channel point to toggle it on so that the screen is there in first place, and then you use like 1 channel point redeems to draw. Because back then I made it with like normal commands because I was not affiliate yet, and if you're not affiliate then you can't use channel point redeems, or like back then you couldn't. I think by now you can. And so I had to do everything with commands, and so above it says, you know, the command is exclamation point place X, then some number, Y, some number, and then some color. And nowadays I can just say, do a redeem, throw in 2 numbers and a color, and then GG's. And I would like to do that now. So, did I already find the code that does that? Oh yeah. Oh god, that old overlay did so many things that are cursed. We had a quote system kinda, but like instead of normal quote systems that, you know, you add a quote and then you say, you know, command quote number, and then the bot just repeats the quote in chat. Instead of that, I did it with clips and on screen. Speaking of toggleable, since you deactivated the emote tags, is the redeem meant to still be active? Will it still work if used? It would not work if it would not work if used. Thank you very much for telling me. It's not supposed to be active. I just didn't deactivate it. Where is it? Pay emote import text. There it is. But the spam mobs chat one still works. So, everything working? Nice. So, yeah. So what did we have? We had the quote system, which played clips on my screen instead of, or like not on my screen, on the overlay, so I wouldn't even see it. Which was a terrible idea because clips have like a minimum length of like, I don't know, was it 5 seconds or something like that? So you couldn't say, you know, cut out the quote and like just play that quote. And also the way I would update it is there was no automatic way. You had to like add clip, and then at the end I had to like download that and put it in a folder. Not good. And that's the drawing thing, I think. Forgot what that was. Meme canvas. Oh yeah, I also had a thing where you could like create memes. Like you could choose. Oh, I think I might still have that on the cloud somewhere. Like you could choose the picture by a number and then like include top text and bottom text and place it on screen on the overlay. That's a thing we had. That's the thing that I want to do. And also we had a DVD logo bouncing around. And also just a duck that was flying across the screen. And my mouse just broke. What the fuck? What the fuck? Like I'm turning the scroll wheel, but it's, do you know those mouses that have like the scroll wheel that you can just turn infinitely? Where you just like click a button and then you scroll it infinitely. and without any clicks. Yeah, it's turned into one of those, except it doesn't scroll. What the fuck? Oh, come on. Okay. I guess we're scrolling like this now. God damn it, I need a new mouse. Or I need to fix that one. That annoys me now, because I really love that mouse. And the problem is that the second one, unlocked mode for scroll, is used. No. Unlocked mode, it's only useful if it actually scrolls. And also, I've never found myself in a situation where I thought, oh, that would be cool. I feel like I need percussive maintenance here. But like, that just gave out of nowhere. Did anything? Oh, I hear something rattling. Oh, that's just the mouse wheel. But it's not like it's gotten like progressively more like this. It just like out of nowhere gave out. What the fuck? Corsair, please send me a new one. That won't work. Yeah. I hate this because that's the second of these mice I have. And the reason I don't have the first one. Well, the reason I don't have the first one anymore is because the left click also gave out. But like the scroll wheel gave out like after a couple of months. This one I've had for like a year or more, I want to say. Wait, I didn't buy it off of Amazon. Wait, let me check. How long have I had this one? Corsair. October 2024. The 1.5 years. That's still not good enough for $80 for a mouse. God damn it. Which mouse do I buy now? Because I really want a mouse that has 12 side buttons. Only a year, that's not even battery lifespan. In what the fuck mouse do you have that has over a year battery lifespan? The thing is, I think... Okay. I think the thing that died is just like the plastic piece that does the clicking thingy. That does the like count how far you scroll it thing. So in theory, it might be fixable by 3D printing a new one of those and opening up the mouse and doing the thing. The problem is, my previous one of these mice that I had, I did try to repair it once by opening it up, but the problem is once to open it up, you have to screw out the screws that are like under the slidey thingies. But when you take off the slidey thingies, you can't put them on again the same way that they were before. Because like they are like glued on, and like if you once you take them off, then the glue is like off and it doesn't hold anymore. And if you don't put them on, then it doesn't slide around properly. God damn it. Is there warranty on these? Hold on. Side quest. Corsair mouse warranty. Corsair limited warranty. 2 years manufacturer. Hell yeah. 2 years manufacturer's warranty for defects in material and workmanship. I think that definitely counts. Serial number and proof of purchase required. Shit, do I still have that box? I know up until recently I did have that box lying around somewhere, but I'm not sure. I don't think I've thrown it out. Hold on, is it right over here? Hold on. Okay. I gotta ask my mom if it's at her place. Minimum 2-year warranty. All new Corsair branded products include at least a 2-year warranty. Many product lines carry longer coverage. See the full periods below. Okay. Hold on. Gaming peripherals. 2 years. Mice, 2 years. It has been less than 2 years. Hell yeah. Corsair, give me a new one. I gotta text my mom that she should check if that's lying around somewhere. But I hate that that is clearly a fault in the manufacturing or like in the design of this mouse. Because that's the second mouse of the same type that I have. And the second one that the scroll wheel had issues with. Like the other one didn't have like such an explosive issue, but it's like literally just 1 second to the next it doesn't work anymore. The other one was just like gradually, like when scrolling, it sometimes like when scrolling down, it would sometimes like scroll up 1 tick instead, and stuff like that, and be like super unreliable when scrolling to the point that I always just did like this move instead of scrolling. But it's weird that it happened twice. Not a good look. I hate it because I love the design of this mouse so much, but I won't buy a third one. Like I was at some point considering just like bulk buying them whenever they are like reduced. Like, you know, buy 5 of them in case, you know, after 5 years or so, one of them breaks after a reasonable amount of time for a mouse. But if they are breaking every 2 years, I'm not buying. What's my expected lifespan? 55 years, something like until like 80. I'm not buying 30 mice. I'm not buying 30 of these. 4 times the charm. Wait, did that old one even last 2 years? Wait. When did I buy the... I think I got the old one off of Amazon, so I can check here. Orders. Corsair. Okay, 16th of August 2020. So I had that one for more than 4 years. Even though after like 3 months or so, the scroll wheel started to like not be usable anymore. And like it just got worse over time. Not worth getting another of the same model. Yeah, I mean, if they send me a new one for free because it's under warranty, then I'll take that and I will continue using that. But I won't buy a third one. That said, they have a wireless model of the same one. That's the only reason I don't have that yet is that it has 1 less button. It only has 16 instead of 17 buttons, and that's literally the reason why I didn't buy one of those. Like literally, it's the same thing except like up here, I've got like 2 buttons, and the wireless version only has 1 button there. And I used it for play, pause music, and the other one is skip the song to the next one. And I want both of those on my mouse, even though I have like also on my keyboard like play, pause, and then like previous and next song. And I can also have like FN and I don't know, something on here will probably do the same thing. I don't remember. I used to do it a different way. But yeah, that's literally the reason I didn't buy the wireless one. Maybe I will check if the wireless one has the same issue. But otherwise, is there anybody manufacturing MMO mouses? Mice, I guess. That are like good. Oh, SteelSeries one. It's so Razer. I'm also suspicious of because everything that I ever bought of Razer has like lasted less long than I feel like it should have. Like I also like my first 12, 12 side buttons mouse was a Razer Naga, the original one, and that also got issues with the scroll wheel. Why is it always the fucking scroll wheel that breaks, by the way? So I'm kind of like suspicious of buying a Razer one. This one, I don't like the like super light thingy here because that's just asking for like dirt to collect there. Red Dragon maybe? Only costs $30. Might give it a shot. Also, it has one extra button here. Like it has the same 12 here, 2 here, and then one extra here. Maybe I'll try that. Let's click at one of these classic articles that aren't one, that just, a collection of referral links trying to get you to buy one through their link so that they get paid. And whoever pays the most is ranked highest. Razer Naga, Logitech. I did try the Logitech G600 once, but that one just feels like way too big. Stopped using the Naga, the prices are just not okay for the quality. That is exactly my experience. And that is also my experience. Like once you start using a mouse like this, you will buy mice like this. Never Razer, cannot recommend any Razer product. Yeah, that's unfortunately the same thing. That's kind of the same for the Corsair Scimitar though. It's just stuck on default button keybinds no matter what I do. Okay, classic. G600 is dead, has been for years, though you can find the Japanese version on eBay, but it's not worth the price. Yeah, I think they stopped making that even. My first BF bought a Razer mouse on a site where there was a glitch with discount codes, got it for free, or almost, they honored it. Oh, that's sick. Usually they just cancel the order then. Still wouldn't buy a Razer keyboard or mouse because they are really expensive, but I do enjoy my headphones, which were very reasonable price. So I started out all the Razer. I think my first mouse was the Razer Abyss. Abyssus. Yeah, one of these. That was just, basic mouse. At some point, again, I think at some point the scroll wheel broke, and then once I dropped it, and then like it broke open, and then I was like, okay, time for a new mouse. Then I swapped to the Razer Naga, the original one, not the Trinity. This one. Like the V2 has like a thing here that you can swap out. You can swap out so that it's like you can either have the 12 button thing or like this thing, or like just a 2 button thing, or like a circular, I don't know, whatever, how many, 8 or 6 or whatever. And then once that broke, also with scroll wheel issues, I was like, nope, Razer sucks. I'm but I really want the mouse like that. What do we have? Logitech G600 or Corsair Scimitar. I ordered both and then sent the Logitech back because I didn't like how huge it is. And yeah, now I'm on the second Scimitar, and the second Scimitar with scroll wheel issues. The first one then eventually completely broke because the like left click also developed issues. Yeah. What do you do with all these scrollers? Scrolling! I don't know. I'm not like doing anything. I'm just scrolling. Why do like mouse buttons not fail? Okay, like to be fair, on the last one it did fail, but like way after the scroll wheel already broke. Why is it always the fucking scroll wheel that breaks? It's like my 4th mouse with the same issue. Yeah. And I also had like the classic Razer Kraken something headset that eventually just like the hinges broke. And yeah, then I just got proper headphones instead. And like a mic. And I also, like, my first keyboard was the Razer, was it Death Adder? Was it the original Death Adder or the Wii? No, wait, Death Adder was a mouse. What's the keyboard? Hold on, I can find out what the keyboard is called. Black Widow. I cannot type. Yeah, like this, not quite this one. This one. Like it didn't have like one of these wrist rest thingies, but I really liked that because it had like 5 like programmable keys like at the left edge there. Wait, it didn't have 6. So it wasn't quite this one. Also, it didn't have like a scroll wheel or anything. That's a young, like a newer version of it. That's not the OG. That's the OG. That's the one I had. Yeah, just 5 programmable buttons there. And do you want to guess what I did with those 5 programmable buttons? Next song, music louder, play pause, music quieter, previous song. It's always just music controls. I didn't use it for anything else. Always music controls. Yeah, and that eventually died because I think my D key just gave up and then eventually more and more keys. I had that for, I want to say, either almost a reasonable amount of time or a reasonable amount of time for it to break. Like that was like more than 5 years, I want to say. And when that died, I went to our local like electronics shop, like a MediaMarkt thing, and like tried out all of the keyboards that they had there, all of the mechanical ones. I tried out the Corsair ones, the Logitech ones, the Razer ones, and every keyboard that they had. All types of switches. I originally was like looking at like red switches or something more quiet. And in the end, I got the Black Widow Pro. Basically the same one, again with green switches. But like now it's like a wireless-ish version. Like this one can go wired or wireless. Yeah. And like my main problem with this one was it doesn't have the programmable, it doesn't have any like spare programmable buttons anymore, but therefore it has media control here. It has like play pause, previous, next song, then here's a button that like a scroll wheel and a button that the button is like mute sound and the scroll wheel is like system sound up or down. And I think that's also in theory programmable, but that scroll wheel also broke. Like if I turn it, okay, I might have software deactivated. No, wait, I didn't software deactivate it. You just saw that scroll. Those scrolls are from the keyboard, but like I'm like continuously scrolling. I'm like scrolling a lot. Like if I were to use this to actually scroll in either direction, I feel like I would have ended somewhere around Australia by now. Oh, okay, now it's kind of working. It's like not in the direction that I expected it to be, but like it's kind of working now. So with the amount of scrolling I've been doing now, I would assume to be roughly around the moon now, rather than like a part of the way down. Okay, now it kind of started working now. Huh. Yeah, it hasn't for years. And I've also like stopped using it. Also, like it's not that useful in the way I use it, or like in the standard way, because when do you ever want to like complete, okay, for normal use cases, I can see like turning up or down the entire system. Okay, so now it's actually kind of usable. Now it's working. If you like actually like press down on it, then it sort of registers, which just means that soon that will also stop working. If I actually used it like this, then that won't last long, I assume. Yeah. But with my audio setup, just controlling everything at once that's just not a good idea. Because what I use is this, which has 3 different audio outs and a lot of different audio ins. People might call it RGB, I call it Funky Rainbow Tech. Fair. Yeah, also all of my stuff has RGB and it's always one static color and turned down to the minimum. Red, turned to the minimum. Off. Like, here's RGB, here's RGB, here's RGB, and like somewhere at the front is also RGB. I turned all of them off. Yeah. Don't care about RGB. That's not very of you. Yeah. Surprised it's not green? Yeah. I used to have like red and blue as like the like ice and fire kind of theme. Need I remind you it's Pride Month. Yeah. Yeah, I figured that's what you mean. Yeah, I can't be bothered to set up like a rainbow thingy. Is there like a quick thingy? Hold on. Razer Synapse. Let me upgrade to Synapse 4. Synapse 3 support ended February 3rd, 2026. Whoops. Wait, why is the brightness at 95%? Okay, that's... I guess it's not at the minimum. Effects. Static. 1. Is that better? Happy Pride Month, everyone. I can even like swap the direction. Let's go. Yeah. Let's turn that back to the way it was before. So. Yeah, but I used to have like the keyboard in all red, the mouse in all blue, and then at some point I just turned the mouse off because I don't see a reason for it to be on. Like for the keyboard, it's nice that I can see which keys where. Like for typing, I don't need that, but like every now and then I need to like look at thing or weird things. Like if I'm searching like whatever the fuck this symbol, okay, I can't. Whatever the fuck this symbol is. If I ever need this symbol, I would not know where that is, or that, or these, any of that shit. Yeah. Also, wait, is there a... Do I have a move on? Why is it... Okay, now I'm confused. You know how keys, like, put... Like, on all of the keys, there's, like, small markings on what, like, the alternative thingies are. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not if I'm not in full cam mode. But, like, for the M, there's a small thing denoting the mu. The, like, Greek letter. How do I write that? Because it's like not shift, obviously. It's not like alt graphic. Not alt. What's the button? FN. Nope. 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 Nobody knows. It's a mystery. Why is it on there if you can't write it in any way? No clue. Like, I would have assumed it's just old graphical thingy. Nope. It's not. We will never find out. But yeah, so I used to have all Razer stuff. Now the only thing that I still have Razer is keyboards, and only because all of the alternatives sucked when I tried them out. It may also be only available with certain OS languages. But then I would assume that Windows is the one. Like, I would be willing to take a bet that like 99+% of Razer keyboards get used with Windows. Well, 99 might be a little high, but like 90 plus for sure. So it would be weird if they put markings on there that are for like Mac or Linux. Especially, like, it's definitely not for Mac because like there's a Windows key. And like control rather than command. So Linux? I don't know. Weird things are happening. God damn it, I need a new mouse. Corsair, if you want to prove that your mice got more reliable nowadays, send me one. Because this is the fucking second Skimit I have, and both of them have a broken scroll wheel. And clipped. That genuinely annoys me now. So, can I scroll down here? I can. With a lot of annoying thing. Yeah. Recently found a way at work to write letters without specialized keys in Outlook. There's, is it like one of the alt code thingies? Like if you hold alt and, oh, that didn't work. Like if you write alt and like some numbers, is it 4 letters? Okay, Twitch is not very happy about me doing, or like Firefox is not very happy about me trying that. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. How many letters is it? Is it like only certain? Ah. So X seems to be 1112. Y is 1113. Okay. I assume. Oh wait, there's ones with just one. Huh. I'm confused. Interesting though. When I just keep meshing buttons, does it just take the last one? Nope. I have no idea. It's control plus. Okay, not on the German keyboard. Well, on the German keyboard, you just have them. That is control plus slash, then that. Yeah, I don't have a slash as a standalone. I guess I have it on numpad. But no. How do I do a strike through O, like the Norwegian O thing? So, yeah. Anyway, dudes, greatness occurred. Welcome in. It's your mother. What greatness occurred? Tell me. So, I'm still. How do you do the strike through O on a German keyboard? Hold on. Norwegian O on German keyboard. I saw Melt Banana live a couple days ago in Cologne. That's cool. What the fuck is Melt Banana? You don't need to change your physical hardware. Thanks, I didn't plan to. Using Windows alt codes. Windows key plus periods. That's... I should have known that. It's the emoji thing. But like that's the emoji thing. Emoji and symbol menu. Ah, symbols. Ah, getting closer. Oh, I need to scroll here. Ah, there it is. Wait. Ha! There we got it. I didn't know that those letters are also in that menu. Interesting. But yeah, did you know Windows plus dot opens the emoji menu? Like there's very few emojis on here, but there are some on here. Yeah, some of them are there. Looked up shortcuts for the Spanish accent so many times and always forget. Pressing Alt Graphic Plus, the vowel does that accent at least, but I don't know for other topics. Yeah, that for special letters too, but the foreign ones not so much. Ah, yeah. Dude, what? We got the punk deck and we don't know a legendary band like Melt Banana. If I look them up and they have less than 1 million Spotify listeners a month. $39,821 monthly listeners. I am sorry that I don't know an artist that probably has around 2 listeners outside of Cologne. I'm sorry that I don't know them. Okay, they are going to Chicago. Interesting. Okay, maybe they have 2 listeners outside of Chicago and they're both in Cologne. Japanese noise rock band. Found more success in the US. Okay, so it's a Japanese, more success in the US and UK than in their own country. Okay. Cool. I am sorry that I don't know your favorite band that has 39k listeners a month. Yeah. My search bar in Windows Plus 2 fixed itself. It's been years. Oh, nice. I love it when problems just go away. My heart is broken. Yeah, I'm really sorry. Yeah. Never heard of them though. I hope you had a nice concert though. Hope that was amazing. What was I talking about? Right. Weird characters. Right. The emoji thing. It's weird that like there's an emoji like emoji menu on Windows, and then it like has like very limited access to emojis. Like I think the hug emoji isn't in there. I think I once looked that up. Like if I go here, I don't think it's in here. Is it here? No. Scream if you see it scrolling past. It's behind me. Scream if you see it scrolling past here. That's food. Mode of transport. And houses and stuff. A million different moon phases. Hearts. Hearts and signs. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Still didn't see a hug. I would have assumed that's like in either this one or the previous category. I would assume it's like somewhere here. Like there's like a million different pairs. Why aren't those like variants of one emoji? Like here we have like, you know, you can set the variants. Why aren't those like variants? Why aren't each of these extra? And therefore we don't have a hug emoji. Is there no hug emoji? Huh? Yeah, this one. Isn't there... I forgot how the search works. What do you mean you can't find that one? You don't... I didn't even type anything. I don't get it. I don't get it. Punk isn't mainstream anyway. Within that umbrella genre, they're not small. And within noise rock, they're one of the biggest bands. I have never heard of noise rock, I'm gonna be honest. The biggest bands. Most music nerds know them, and their album Fetch is critically acclaimed. Even Anthony Fantano, I have heard of that one. Gave it a 9 out of 10. I have heard of that name. Nice, nice. Is that fucking dancing Squidward? Squidward. Nice. Yeah, I've never heard of them. There's a lot of bands. Yeah. It's in the first part with all of the faces. It is a dancing as well. Nice. It's in the first part with all of the faces. Might look purple though. That's an alien. That's families. I don't see it. You say with in the first part of all the faces. I mean, that's faces. So that will be the second part, but let me log in. Wizard. People. Nope. That's that's a dancing panda. Amazing. What's that? Dog. I have no clue who that is. So, back to the emoji search. I don't know. Maybe could it be that that's a Windows 10 versus Windows 11 thing? Are you perchance on Windows 11? And did they change that? I don't see it here. That's Sus Giga Chat. That applies to so many people. Hold on. here we've got the Windows 11. Let's pull it. Oh god, that's scrolling too fast. That looks like different. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's purple. Fuck, I deleted all of them. Why is it purple? And why is it only in Windows 11? Is that a ploy to get me to install Windows 11 on this laptop as well? Damn it. Why? I'm confused. I mean, okay, questioning design choices in Windows is just a lost cause. Oh, it should be in your recently used. No! Only on the streaming PC, which has Windows 11. Not on the other, like, not on my laptop, which has Windows 10, where it isn't. It doesn't have that. It just doesn't have that. Why? Ah, damn it. At least it's less scrolling. No, it's not. Well, it's less scrolling because instead of finding it in the end menu, I will go and say hug emoji and copy that. And then it works. Oh, but yeah, I could copy paste it from the streaming PC to the laptop. Right, I could do that. Good point, actually. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah. So, that will definitely work, yeah. So, what do we do? Right, I wanted to program something a long time ago. We got interrupted by the mouse breaking. But originally I wanted to like program something. Yeah, we had a duck sliding across the screen randomly. And a DVD logo and a bunch of other stuff. So how did the grid work? Ah, that's the function for drawing the grid. And I think I'll just have to rewrite everything from scratch mostly. Clips. Yeah, that's how I did the clip thingy. Video player, show meme. That day and night. Better. Right, I need that, and then I also need the script that handles input. I need the index HTML because that receives stuff, doesn't it? No. I need script and new script. Where is that handled? Chatbot? Nope. My delight of my life. I don't think it was in new script. Was it in test? Yeah, new script is empty, as I assumed. Oh, test seems pretty full. That might be the one I'm searching for. Yeah, that is the one I'm searching for. What is a bugging me? Like, yo. Video error listener. Play next video. The clips. I would love to scroll up here without having to always do that. I wanna feel it day and night. What a power of my life. What a better. Okay, draw grid. Come on, there's not that many files left here. Was it test HTML or test2 HTML? Test2 HTML? Where the hell is that socket thing going? Oh, don't you love it when you work with like 2-year-old code? So I checked all of these HTML files. I checked new script, styles wouldn't be in here. Chatbot, nope. What the hell is all of this? I don't remember any of it. Recovery, last game, time. What do you mean last game? What the fuck did I have that for? I don't remember what that was for. Message API. No. That looks like it's all just for the clip thingy. I have no clue. What is any of that doing? Oh. Place canvas. Socket on grid state. Socket IO. On, do that. Where the fuck is the socket coming from? It won't be styles. I would be very confused if a CSS script is, or like CSS file is sending anything. That's the memes. Is there, wait, is there like a main thingy here? Oh, server.js. That would be it. That will probably be it. There it is. Okay, that makes more sense. Oh god, back then we had TTS on every single message in chat. Oh god. And like different TTS voices in like different languages. Quote, chat to TTS, yeah. The quote, fetch clip, get citation. Oh yeah, I forgot I did that. You could literally like put a quote of mine into the quote system and then use the get citation command to get scientific like a way to scientifically cite me. Like it would give you the LaTeX code that you then just need to copy and paste to cite me and like whatever I said there. Or like, I think it gave you the link to the clip and it cited the clip. That's hilarious. Oh god, I should like rebuild that as well. Parse place, that's the thing I'm searching for. Can we react to some melt banana? I'll throw their top song in the queue. So it's in the queue, and we'll see how that is going. So extract x and y values using regular expression. Oh yeah, we had regex there, and which was like sourced from GPD, and then I had to fix it because I changed the way it did things, and I didn't understand how regex worked, and so I replaced it. I remember. Oh yeah, but like for some other stuff, we did still have regex, and that's still magic to me. Like I did try to look up what the hell that means, and then just gave up, and was like, okay, it works, fine. Can't be bothered. All right. I also need to like look into my new code. Oh god. How do I display anything? Because that's also half a year old, more than half a year old. Overlay server, is that? That looks kind of like it. We had JavaScript somewhere though. E token manager account main deck overlay index HTML. There we go. That sounds good. Oh god, there's so much stuff in here. I should probably like throw it onto GitHub before like push all of whatever we have right now before I destroy it. Import taxes deactivated. I don't remember when I last pushed to GitHub here. Now re-implementing place and push. A message. We still have all the Halloween stuff in here that I never reused. If chat, then that. How do I display anything here? Oh, all of that is script. How do I do anything here? Okay, what do I actually need to do? When you have a channel point, okay, I need to like program the grid. And on channel point redeem, we need to send a message that shows the grid. Do I also make like a deactivate thing for that? I guess. I forgot how sending anything to this works. If data type is chat, else if data type is that. Okay, WebSocket. Oh, that was from main. Oh, that means I need to import stuff into the event handler again. I need... How do I send anything? Overlay.send event. I need to make one of these as well. I either need to throw another overlay server into the event manager, or I need to... Do I have a way from the event manager to tell the main program what's happening? I don't think so. But I need to build that. I need to build like a layer of communication there. Because that thread only exists here, and if I make another one, then it's different. Yeah. Quite interesting song, by the way. I quite like that. That doom. Like kinda gives vibes of... Wait, what was I thinking? I wanna say going like the same direction as like Avenged Sevenfold, in that it's like very experimental-ish. Second most played shield for your eyes into the queue. Okay. Because it wasn't trash, we are allowed to also throw the second one in there. So, So, how the hell do I communicate? I guess I need a socket thingy. Oh, this is more complicated than I hoped it would be. I need either like a socket thing, or can I... I just thought of a stupid way I could do it, but that's probably not good. Stream Deck server. How did I do the Stream Deck server thing? Because I feel like it's gonna be similar to that. Oh yeah, Deck PY. So, and let's Stream Deck event. Where is that called? Callback is that. Ah. Callback. Self callback. Callback. What the fuck did I do here? Start. Okay. Web application. Ah. Oh, this is more complicated than I was hoping it would be. Because basically what's happening... is we are not communicating directly here. We're kind of taking more detours than I was hoping. Like whenever I press any button that has to interact with the Python script on the like Stream Deck thingy, what I knew or like remembered correctly was that it like it doesn't go straight to Python, it goes to StreamerBot, and that sends a message via UDP that then Python listens to. And I thought that directly then gets sent to the overlay. But what's actually happening is that gets called in that script here. Then that somehow gets sent to the main script. And the main script then has a thing that communicates with the overlay. So if I want to communicate from events to the overlay, I also need the same thing that communicates with the overlay, but in there. And I can't reuse the one from the main. Or wait, no, I have to reuse the one from main because otherwise it's separate instances and it doesn't work. Wait, I can just give the overlay to the event manager. Nerdrock comes from hardcore punk. It's very chaotic and puts emphasis on well noise, like scratching sounds. I quite like that. Like, Rage Against the Machine uses that a lot as well. I quite like that, actually. Like effect pedals, feedback noise, glitches, literal noises, and noisy walls of sound. But Bananas, guitarist, is literally like Tom Morello on crack. Ah, nice. I like that you were thinking of the same thing that I was. Like Tom Morello is the guitarist from Rage Against the Machine, if anybody doesn't know that. Yeah, so kind of funny that I was thinking of the same thing immediately. Ah, so. Yeah. But I do quite like that. The like scratchy thing. Or like interesting guitar effects is always something that easily gets me. Oh, there's also there's one guitar effect that I just like have to think of a lot of the time. Which is like a very different thing. Like very different corner of rock music. But okay, I threw it in the queue. But like Muse has a song where like the guitar tone is like, you know, very much clean, so like very much not this, but it's just so insane that this kind of effect is coming out of a guitar. Wait, I will elaborate once it comes up. So, what I just realized was that I can throw the overlay into the thing. This guitar effect is what I'm talking about. Like that's so fucking clean, and like, how do you make that effect? Like, I really like the effect that they achieved there. That's also like, that's just wild. Only that guy uses a pedal board with like 20 pedals on it. Yeah, I would assume. Multiple whammies, loop pedals, and a ton of effects pedal. Yeah, I would assume so. Because like you need a lot of things, and you probably also has like a whammy bar on the guitar, or like, oh wait, multiple. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, to make stuff like that, you need to like really know what you're doing, or you just trial and error a lot and like remember what you did. Which I guess is the same thing as knowing what you're doing. Yeah. But like it's wild what kind of stuff people achieve with like a guitar. Like if you think about it, a guitar is some metal on some wood. And like if you make an electric guitar, it's or like it's if it's an acoustic, then it's not necessarily even metal. It might be, you know, plastic or like originally it was like I barely know what it is in German, so how the fuck would I even know what it's in English? I think like intestines of like animals is like the original thing on guitar that guitar strings were made out of, which what the fuck. But yeah, and like if you have an electric guitar, it's literally some metal on some wood in front of some other metal, and that makes that sound. They got a pretty giant 2-part amp cabinet that's almost as tall as another person. Yeah. Like, okay, if you think about like, okay, that whole that is outstanding is weird, kinda, because if you look at like amp wall is something like that. Like if you look at like just what a stage looked like in like earlier days, all of that is guitar amps. Like nowadays that's not a thing anymore because like every arena and everything that big like that a band would play at would have like a proper sound system, but that used to not be a given. So like bands just were traveling around with like stacks of guitar amps, if I'm not mistaking that. Huh? I do want to visit the page. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or like if we look at like Metallica, they probably have the same stuff. Or like let's just Metallica like stage. Okay, I can't find a good picture. But like, oh wait, there was one. There was one here. Like that. That was wild. Like, yeah, exactly what's going on there. Yeah, that kind of shit was wild. And like, yeah. So nowadays it's weird when someone is like there with like 2 amps stacked above each other and like, you know, uses that because they need that for like feedback and stuff. But like back then, they would literally stand like in front of like tons of speakers because, you know, the whichever venue they were playing at, they just couldn't trust that they had like proper good speakers, so they just brought their own. That's just wild that ever happened. Yeah, we have come a long way. So where was I? Right, I wanted to give the event manager the overlay. Does that just work? Mm-hmm. Anymore. Then I need to import that as well, I assume. Like a hand grenade. Voice server equals none. And then just throw self.overlay equals overlay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, setup can be very different. I feel like nowadays when bands have like long setups, it's less because of like figuring out how to do the sound stuff, but then it's usually because they have like crazy visuals. Like at the festival I was at recently, the longest breaks were ahead of like Bring Me the Horizon and Sabaton and Iron Maiden. Wait, actually, did Iron Maiden? I don't remember. I think Iron Maiden had a normal break. But like Sabaton literally are building up a fucking tank on stage and like tons of pyrotechnics and stuff. So makes sense that they need a longer break ahead of, you know, between the previous band and them. So yeah. Nowadays, that's just how it works. Mm-hmm. But like it's cool to see that like some bands do like some so technical stuff that, you know, they literally need the time just to get the sound. So, what did I want to try? Is I'm recording the event if you want to see. I feel I'm gonna be honest. I feel like if I want to see a live performance, there's probably better ways to get that. There's probably some like well videographed stuff on YouTube, I would assume. Because like nowadays, I don't understand why people take like phone recordings, like properly long phone recordings of like of concerts. Like I understand if you have like, you know, if you make like a 5-second clip or something of your favorite song because reasons. I understand that kind of stuff. But there are sometimes I just see people standing in front of me like that for the whole concert and I'm like, you're never gonna look at that ever again. Nobody cares. Take your fucking phone down. Yeah. There's only phone recordings, even from 20 years ago. I doubt. There's no shot that there's like. Okay, to be fair, we're talking about like 30k monthly listener. Melt Banana live at Obscene Extreme 2024. That does not look like a phone recording. I have a question. That they seem to be inside. Why is it raining? Is that not inside? Is that just their like stage effects that they instead of like fire have like an artificial thunderstorm? That looks like they are inside. Huh? What's going on here? Like it's got. Why is it raining? That does not look open air. I have questions. Anyways. That live audio comes from a radio show from 20 years ago. Yeah, I mean, I would assume so because radio shows tend to have good audio. That's like the point. Yeah. Right. What was I doing? Right. Testing if I can do stuff with the overlay in the Twitch events. How do I test this? I need the overlay server. Need overlay server. Oh wait, not overlay. What the fuck is this? Ah. That's the overlay server that sends stuff to the actual overlay then. No more sorrow. Handler starts. Send event. Why do I have send event and send event thread save? Ah. I'm always just using send event. Why do I have a thread save one? What's the difference? Okay, I don't know. Let me create. Okay, let's make channel point redeem. And then see how that's handled. I hate that I don't have scroll wheel anymore. Okay, session keep alive. Okay, notification. Redemption add. Right. Message. Follow. Chat message. Great. Okay, so that's the channel point redeems. LED effect, LED color, base state, and mouse chat. Okay. So, nope. So we go here. Spam mouse chat becomes activate drawing. Print event. That's probably not the right way I do that usually. Activating drawing. And then we want to go self.overlay. What does that do? Dot send event. Like this. Then we go type. How do you do? Okay, we just need a type. Type activate drawing. Can I do spaces here or do I underscore? Let's do underscore. Okay. You sent a link. Let me go check that out. Copy link. Do I still have the browser open? I do have the browser open. Okay, just audio recordings. Makes sense if it's radio. That makes sense. That's fucking 25 years ago, goddammit. Oh, time flies. But, cool. Alright, where was I? Always send event. Now, span has been cut since 92. Oh, damn. That's 34 years. Now that I think about it, Nirvana was active around that time as well. That's also 34 years. Green Day has been around since around that time. Wait, when did the first Green Day album come out? Like Dookie came out in like 93, something like that, didn't it? Wait, Dookie 24 was the 30-year anniversary, so it would be 94. Yeah, 1994. Plunk was 92, and the first album was 91. Damn. Green Day has been around since like 35 years. Holy shit. Old fucks. Still like one of the best live bands though. So what do I do once we send that? Send event. Clients message in event. Client send message. Client inside clients. LAF data type Halloween font. Okay. Chat. Okay, so just throw one of these at the end. Else if console log overlay activating drawing. What was the exact string I used here? Activate drawing. So, whoops. If I now restart that, I also need to create, oh god. I don't know why sometimes the lights turn off and on when I restart the thing, and sometimes it just doesn't. Sometimes it just works. So I need to make a channel point redeem. For this, activate drawing. So if I now go, that's the wrong terminal window. If I now use that, I should get 2 prints. One from the thing that sent. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong terminal again. And it crashed. Activating drawing. So the first one worked. Enable to get object allocation. Coroutine overlay server send event was never awaited. That's not good. They toured with Tool back then. Oh, damn. A couple years ago with Vigor. Also never heard of those. And if some of Mike Patton's bands. Mike Patton rings a bell. Who was he? I want to say Blink 182, but no, that's not right, is it? Mike Patton. Who was he at? Faith No More, right. That's the one. Quite big fan of them. Okay, cool. Green Day is even bigger angst than Meltman. Like, yeah. Green Day are like surprisingly have been around since a surprisingly long time. So, and so what does it mean has never been awaited? Wait, getter. Probably means that I need to run that thing as well. Where's the thing? I think I will run overlay.start. Get running loop. Running. I don't think that... I don't think that was so... Nope. Was never awaited. $284. Self-overlay send event. What if I try the thread save one? I expect the same outcome, but we might as well try it before trying something that I don't think will work either. But it will be more work to try. Up, there was... OSR send event was never awaited. What do you mean was never awaited? My pen is insane. One of the craziest vocal ranges in some of the most influential weird bands. About Mr. Bungle and Faith No More, there won't be Slipknot and Korn. Oh, that's sick. I didn't know there was a connection between Faith No More and like Slipknot and Korn. But there was another weird connection between bands that I only learned recently. It was it Blink-182 or Offspring, and then someone younger? Or was it Weezer? I don't remember. I don't remember. There was some story that I heard recently that like some established band gave a younger band a chance, basically. And like, you know, also like, oh wait, wait, I think I got it. Was it Fall Out Boy and Panic at the Disco? Was it that Fall Out Boy was the established one and gave Panic at the Disco a chance? Something like that. And I remember when I heard the story, I was like, now I understand why I confused them a lot. I think it might have been Fall Out Boy and Panic at the Disco. And like someone from Fall Out Boy even like helped produce some Panic at the Disco album. I think that was the story. Something along those lines. Don't remember the specifics. I don't remember. Oh. Anyways, do I just need to like start it? I just need to like run the start thing. Events. But if I do that, I would assume... If I do that, I would assume that it makes a new instance and doesn't affect the same instance. Hold up. Something already broke. Something already broke here. It did not like that. Run main. Yeah, it doesn't like that. Chat manager overlay. Wait, in the chat manager. What do I do with the overlay here? Self.overlay. If self.overlay and self.overlay loop. Turns out I solved that exact problem previously. I don't want to do it right now. Ooh, that's a good one. About how Crystal Lake member helped Hanabi. Oh, I've heard of Hanabi. Start the shit and produced the first album or two. Damn. Yeah, it just feels like the entire music industry is somehow connected. Another wild thing is how, like, Tenacious D has just the wildest guest appearances, I guess. Because, like, well, Dave Grohl is, like, their drummer. Fucking Dave Grohl from Nirvana and Foo Fighters was the drummer on, like, at least on the first album and the second one, I think. I don't remember on which albums, but, like, he was drumming for them. And, like, also on the second album, Dave Grohl was the devil. I think, was it Meatloaf who played the father in, like, the first song in Kickapoo? Wait. Tenacious D, Kickapoo, credits. Kickapoo. Yeah, featuring Meatloaf as the father and Ronnie James Dio as Ronnie James Dio. It's like, what? Also, writers Jack Black, Gas, and Liam Lynch. Who was that? Oh, American film. Classic Who. Writers Jack Black, Karl Gass, Johann Sebastian Bach, Ludwig van Beethoven, and Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. That's wild. That's a wild list of writers. Damn. Alright, I might just go and copy paste the thing I got from there. Why don't you just go to that level? Run coroutine thread save. We just need this. Don't need that. Is that how it works? All of the brackets closed and everything? Looks like it. After the overlay loop, whatever that means. Okay, let's try that again. So, like, another wild collaboration is, like, Steel Panther's first album just has Corey Taylor on it from Slipknot. Okay, events activating drawing. It didn't crash, but I also didn't catch it in the overlay server, I think. Or like in the... Oh, I know why I didn't catch it in the overlay server, because the overlay is not connected. Because I always forget that, because it's, like, not important. Refresh. And now that should help. One more lie, I don't believe. Okay. Connected. Activating drawing. Hold on. That should appear there, yeah. But the other thing doesn't arrive. That's wrong. Nope, that's closing the wrong thing. Hmm. One more life. Why is that not showing up? 22. Remote. Overlay. Refresh. Whoop. Full Circle, the original Crystal Lake vocalist, has started a new experimental metalcore band called Gnosis, and he had Yukina from Hanabi feature on the track. There you go. It's all just one big family. Everybody knows each other and, like, you know, collabs with everybody. Why is that not arriving? On message. Console.log. Got message. Overlay. One more. Wait, I can't console.log in here, can I? Or like console log. Wait, I can. Oh. I can, but I won't see it. Because that's... Alright. What's the port for this? I can't debug that in console.log because it's an HTML file. And is it such a sin? You take what's mine at the end of time. And the story ends. So, got message, activating drawing. Ah, cool. So it works. It works. I just don't see the print because it's not being sent where I thought it would be sent. But like that makes sense. All good. Cool. So we get the message over here to activate the drawing thing. Yeah. Cool. So that kind of works. I've slapped it 50 fucking times. Rip that heart off. So. Now, do I build the entire thing today? Can I just copy paste something here? Can I like copy paste anything? Cause I really always knew that a little crime because I got a heater for your thighs. I know it's not your time. And a word and a wise and a fire dies. I think it's so about it just be. Function draw grid. At least for the most part. Cause everybody gotta die sometime. We fell apart. Let's throw that on here. Cause everybody's gotta die sometime. Yeah. So we need PCTX, which means place canvas. Back from the grave. It possesses a body with which misbehave. Right from ear to ear. Does it just work if I copy paste this and other thing from the index HTML in body? Just so come far beyond the grave. Gotta make up for what I've done. 'Cause I was all up in a piece of heaven. Wait, draw grid needs to be called. The cold I gotta heat up for you fine. So restart again. And I gotta wait, where did I just try that? Did I try it? I did try it here. And we're gonna activate this. Hey, there it is. Wait, it's I can't point to it because I didn't refresh on here. We fell apart. But if I refresh here and then go and click this button, then there's the grid. Oh god, it's all face cam. Okay, I might need to readjust some of the values. And also I don't need... Why did it... What? Might need to make some adjustments. But it is here. So, alright, that's not important. Yeah, we might need to make some adjustments, but progress just flies down every time anyone types anything. Also, the text at the top won't be needed. Now again. Looks fine. Yeah, definitely. Draw grid. So, what do we need? Okay, maybe this just gets fixed if we throw that on top above the chat. And maybe the chat won't influence it. And... Where's the Y value of... That's just hard-coded values. O is the X value. 456 is the Y value. So I guess... Fire dies, I'm gonna get so about it, just pick it. Okay. We'll just have to adjust some numbers then. Also, I should like really make a thing that automatically refreshes the thing. Also, we don't need this. And just throw it over here. Not sure why I didn't do that in the first place. Hey, there it is. And if I now write some... The text just doesn't show up because it's not below it. The text is below a blank, or like... It is transparent, but the text is below it and so can't be seen. What? I have questions to JavaScript. as in like total. What the fuck? That's not. I just make the width not the entire size. Can I like say location? Or no. Oh, I don't know how HTML works. Can I give it like a fixed pixel location? What does it look like in this state? Wait, let me temporarily throw that overlay in here so I don't always have to go into the proper overlay. Did I just break something? I don't hope so. I don't know. It is shifting down. It is too far down, but the text at the top is gone. Can I make it just like a square as big as it needs to be rather than like the entire screen? And give it like a location later on. I think that is relative to the square. So if I make this half as big, then we will run into troubles, I assume. I don't assume this will work. Yeah, it doesn't. Can I like not make that the other way? I'm not made for front end. HTML tag set pixel location. Can I place an element at specific pixel? Okay. Zero and Y, let's say 400. And the height, we do 680. And then we have to subtract 400 everywhere here. 56. X, Y, so that's 2 something. Each number that looks like more than 300 should just become less, I think. That's how it works. We'll see. Gonna be my gun. That's not where I expected it to be. What? Hold up. If I now go and swap those two around, I will assume something breaks in a new and interesting way. The text is now here. Well, the text needs to be first. I feel like I need to make a text box. I need to give the text a certain size. Hold up. Wait, let me just undo this. There you go. How about we just say height equals 400. So if I make the chat box a fixed height and the grid is below the chat box, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? Do I need to give it like both width and height? Oh, that creates a div. What do I have the chat div for? Append child? Why does that create a div? I don't like that. Hmm. How the fuck does that work? I hate frontend. I know I say that a lot, but I feel like I don't say it enough. I hate frontend. Damn. Like, why does it not just like make that a fixed pixel amount and then like when I why does the fucking text move it down? I hate that so much. Right. Right. What do we do? So, I think I know who knows how to fix that problem. And that is Future Tab. It's just chilling out there now. It's just chilling right there. Yeah. I think that is a problem for Future Tab. So yeah, remind him on Wednesday. On Wednesday he'll probably want to play a game. Motherfucker. Yeah, remind him in the future that he wanted to do that. That thing. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a thing that for Future Tab, also and for Future Tab, very much so. That poor motherfucker has to do front end. Poor guy. I won't trade with him. Yeah. Anyways, thank you very much for watching as always. be sure to hit that follow button if you don't already, and if you do already, then be sure to also follow on all of the other platforms, mostly like Instagram, YouTube, join the Discord, stuff like that. Anyways, let me see if I can find someone to raid. I do. So, yeah, I'm already over to Embassy, who is playing Spyro Year of the Dragon, apparently. Some old retro game. Yeah, have fun over there. We will see each other on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Central European Time. I will be late, most likely. We'll see. What else did I want to say? The same thing as always. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see each other on Wednesday. And as always, step out. That was the wrong button. Fuck. That was the break button. Sorry for throwing you into the net. Go over to Emergy. Good fun. Ciao.